Thank you for joining Wars of the Roses. And this is the threefold path of Plato, as exemplified by the triangle, by Frater Harvey, F.R.C. An article taken from Rosicrucian Digest, Volume 13, Number 7, August 1935. The threefold path of Plato, as exemplified by the triangle, by Frater Harvey, F.R.C. We have chosen Plato as our theme for discussion tonight because he exemplifies the true Rosicrucian mystic in the way he uses the triangle to explain human behavior. Plato has divided human behavior into three categories: desire, emotion, and knowledge. He says that desire has its seat in the loins and the sex. He has subdivided his triangle of human behavior and explains that those in the category of desire are swayed by appetite, impulse, and instinct. These powers and qualities are in all men, but in diverse degrees. Some men are the very embodiment of desire. They are restless and acquisitive souls who are absorbed in material quests and quarrels, who burn with the lust for luxuries and show, and who rate their gains always as naught compared with their ever-receding goals. These are the men who dominate and manipulate industry. Now, in order to find oneself and know how to apply the Rosicrucian teachings to every phase of life and to one's personal problems, regardless of the category of life that one finds himself in, he must first of all be truthful with himself. If he finds himself in a particular realm of evolution, he must accept that as the state where God placed him in order to work out his own karma and evolve on a higher plane of understanding. And so, if he finds himself closely associated with the category of desire, whereby he is swayed by instinct, impulse, and appetite, first of all, he must admit that this is his natural home or his natural environment, and that the only way in which he can rise out of this category is to apply these teachings to his particular problem and his particular condition while he is passing through his phase of evolution. These people who find themselves in this triangle, which Plato has illustrated to us, are generally very excitable, impetuous types. They are at times boisterous and turbulent. They are impatient and often intolerant. They are irritable and restless. They are easily agitated and are covetous. Those who are the very embodiment of desire will go to utmost extremes in order to attain their ends. They are lustful, and they have a tremendous passion for possession and acquisition. They do not seem to appreciate the rights of other individuals, nor do they ever use reason to determine whether others have any rights or privileges. In many cases, they are blind to fairness and justice. They see only that which is profitable for them and which will make them powerful in the way of possession of earthly material things. These individuals carry a tremendous material burden, for everything that they have in life, everything that they seem to have a realization of, is a material, concrete thing. Most of them have no appreciation of art and literature. They cannot understand how one could enjoy a beautiful symphony or the opera. They usually appreciate only that which comes to them through appetite and instinct and impulse, that which has its cause in the loins. These are the people who so often manipulate our factories, munition plants, cotton mills, shoe factories, clothing industries, the food markets, railroads, etc. Other pursuits of the desire group are liquor industry, various gambling institutions, and underworld activities. Now, emotion has its seat in the heart, in the flow and the force of the blood. It is the organic resonance of experience and desire. Those who respond to this triangle of emotion, which is exemplified by spirit, ambition, and courage, are really temples of feeling and courage. They care not so much for what they fight as for victory in and for itself. They are pugnacious rather than acquisitive. Their pride is in power rather than in possession. Their joy is on the battlefield rather than in the mart. These are the men who make up the armies and navies of the world. They are the men who make the flyers or the air corps, the police departments, the fire departments, the pugilistic athletes, and other sports of conquest. If you find yourself responsive to this triangle of emotion and you are really honest with yourself, you will recognize immediately that the best position for you in life is in some endeavor that gives you an opportunity to express your courage, your inner spirit. You must find a channel to show valor, fortitude, and firmness. You must find a place in life that gives you an opportunity to demonstrate chivalry, perseverance, and heroism. This you will find in some of the branches of the Army and Navy service. You must have a position in life where you are a protecting force or a protecting influence, because that is your natural aptitude. It is your inner feeling that you wish to express as a protector, a fighter. As we have stated previously, you would not fight for something which you would wish to keep and have in your possession, but simply for the desire of fighting in order to win. These people who are swayed by emotion and who came under this category are those who constitute the brave of the country. They are intrepid, daring, defiant. In their consciousness, the word danger does not exist. They are self-reliant and confident. They have pluck and are game. They have a strong heart. If you find yourself in this particular stage of evolution, and you know that you must pass through this phase of life, and you want to apply the Rosicrucian teachings, do so in one of the fields just mentioned and make yourself a better protector of humanity, for that is what these people really are. These emotional types are always in the front line of fire, protecting those who are producing food, clothes, and the necessities of life for the people who are the guiding lights of the universe, those who come under the triangle of knowledge. Plato's triangle of knowledge, which is thought, intellect, and reason, consists of the few whose delight is in meditation and understanding, who yearn not for goods nor for victory but for knowledge, who leave both market and battlefield to lose themselves in the quiet clarity of secluded thought, whose will is a light rather than a fire, whose haven is not power but truth. These are the men of wisdom who stand aside unused by the world. Plato explains this clearly when he says, "Unguided by knowledge, the people are a multitude without order, like desires in disarray. The people need the guidance of philosophers as desires need the enlightenment of knowledge. Ruin comes when the trader whose heart is lifted up by wealth becomes ruler, or when the general uses his army to establish a military dictatorship. The producer is at his best in the economic field. The warrior is at his best in battle. They are both at their worst in public offices, and in their crude hands, politics submerges statesmanship, for statesmanship is a science and an art. One must have lived for it and been long prepared. Only a philosopher king is fit to guide a nation. Until philosophers are kings, or the kings and the princes of this world have the spirit and power of philosophy, and wisdom and political leadership meet in the same man, cities will never cease from ill, nor will the human race attain the perfect state. In the perfect state, the industrial forces which are led by desire would produce, but they would not rule. The military forces which are led by emotion would protect, but they would not rule. The forces of knowledge and science and philosophy would be nourished and protected, and they would rule. As Rosicrucian students, you should find yourself swayed principally by this triangle of knowledge, which consists of thought, reason, and intellect. You should have the spirit of meditation and understanding. Your inner faculties should be keen to appreciate the value of mystical law and the application of mystical law to your everyday affairs and your everyday problems. You should know the value of reason and intellect and use these as tools to attain wisdom and the mastership of these esoteric laws that are being given to you in your weekly monographs. If you find yourself in this triangle, you will not be one of the members who frequently need write to headquarters for help on your personal problems. You will not consult the imperator on problems of divorce, nor will you be questioning the staff as to how to obtain some form of employment. You will use that quality that is inherent in your character and soul called reason. You will analyze your problem by using your intellect, and you will apply the power of thought. You will place this burden upon your own shoulders and use the power of thought to change your own condition and create harmony where there has been discord. The biggest problem the members have in acquiring ability to apply mystical laws to their own problems is in the way they approach the studies. It is almost appalling at times when we receive returned monographs from the students who have become inactive for a period of time, and look them over and see how little they have been used, how little they have been fingered from the lack of study and use. We receive monographs that have hardly been out of the envelopes and hundreds of them that have never been opened. And yet these members are the ones who write to us and tell us that they do not understand how to apply the teachings. The laws do not have any effect in their behalf, and they feel that they have been cheated, so to speak. In other words, they have simply received these lessons, have read them over once, put them back into the envelopes and placed them in a drawer or on the bookshelf, awaiting the next monograph the week later. They have never given them serious thought. They have read them over once with the idea that they were simple and there was nothing in them of real value. And the possibility was that they had read the same thing before in some book they had obtained from a public library or something that they had purchased from the various traveling psychologists and lecturers. These are the people who write to us and say that the Rosicrucian studies are not what we claim them to be. They want to attain mastership of cosmic law. They want to know themselves, their inner selves, their psychic selves. They want to know what their relationship is to the universe. They want to know why we are here and what the purpose of life is. But they will not apply their own mind and a little of their own time to study. They are the people who are in the category of desire and are trying to find their way into the category of knowledge. They haven't the courage of those who have attained the triangle of emotion. They haven't the strength, the patience. They haven't the will to apply their mind to study. They are materially lazy. They will not try to apply their thoughts because in reality it takes strength to really think out a problem intelligently. They are so swayed by desire, instinct, impulse and appetite that they rely solely on these involuntary actions or impulses to bring them happiness and success. They have not attained the period in evolution where they could attune their higher faculties to the cosmic and be inspired to seek for knowledge and understanding. These are the people who remain always in the public halls, listening to an orator propound intricate philosophies, using terms that are incomprehensible to them. And when they leave in the evening, they simply say, "Isn't he or she, whichever the orator may be, wonderful?" He is wonderful because they did not understand him. But if someone would give them the truth in words that they can understand, that individual becomes naught in their consciousness, because he has come down to their status and has tried to commune with their mind and convey to them the truths that they are so desirous of having, but reject because of their overdeveloped ego and their blindness to truth. On the other hand, we have thousands of letters coming to us from members acclaiming the wonders that the Rosicrucian teachings have done for them. They state that the instruction has lifted them out of an environment that was almost impossible for a human being to live in. These people have reached a higher cycle in evolution and have learned to have a little faith in those individuals who have advanced ahead of them and have tried to apply the teachings that the instructors are conveying to them. They explain the many wonderful revelations that have come to them through the application of the law of love. We do not mean by this mere affection or infatuation, but we mean the law of compassion for all mankind. We mean the absolute negation of the opposite of love, which is hate. We mean the constructive, positive force that is radiating from the human mind and heart and that creates a harmonious condition wherever this personality radiating this thought of love exists. These members also report the wonderful laws that are workable and applicable in the way of healing physical illnesses and conditions. But they are persons who are ambitious and who have a sympathetic feeling for mankind. They have courage to delve into the more profound philosophies and sciences. They have the strength to hold the truth once it is given to them. They are people who have passed through the realm of desire and have learned the lessons of that category, and they are the future masters and leaders of the Rosicrucian teachings. Occasionally, one of these members finds it necessary to return these monographs to us because of an accumulation of monographs and studies too ponderous to carry around with him, and many times because of transition, for the members always have the monographs and other Rosicrucian work addressed so that in case of transition, they will be returned to headquarters. As we look through some of these monographs, we see them finger-marked and worn and torn from constant handling. We see them written in and underscored. We notice them indexed. These monographs have been in the hands of a real seeker for truth and light, and the individual who has returned these monographs to us has left this earth plane to be reincarnated in a much more advanced civilization and in the vibration of a higher organization than the physical body that he left at transition. He has really applied himself to the work and has applied the teachings that he has received to humanity. For as he received and understood the Rosicrucian teachings, he gave freely to those with whom he was closely associated and to those who had come to him asking advice and knowledge. These are the true Rosicrucians, the true seekers for wisdom, the true mystics of the future. These are the people who are coming through the triangle of knowledge, as Plato has so beautifully explained. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe and comment. And if you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Roses. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.